My sweet, lovely Scorpios, this is your horoscope for May 2025. Now, first half of May will be a bit of a bumpy ride, and second half of May will be rewarding. Now, first, let's start with your ruler, because in the beginning of May, it will go retrograde. May 4th, Pluto goes backwards, meaning slows down in your house of family and real estate and properties. It will stay in slow motion until October 14th. From third degree of your fourth house until first degree. You see how slow Pluto is? Pluto is a slow moving planet. It's a planet of transformation and your ruler. Now, seems like your ruler will send you to an introspective journey in terms of family, in terms of real estate. If you've been planning to buy a real estate, you might go back to some options that were previously offered to you, or you might go back in searching, for example, new options to buy or sell. If you've been trying to sell, Pluto will help you greatly during its retrograde period to sell your house or apartment or any type of property, even for better price that you expect. Pluto also in the fourth house might give you a lot of inner work related to your family and family members, especially relationship with your mother, for example. And your mother might come visit you too during summer while Pluto will be retrograding, or you might go visit your home place where you're born, for example, your home country as an example, or your mother in general. Now, May 12th, we have a bit of a difficult full moon, and this full moon will be surprising one. Full moons are about some conclusions, or they put some light into some situation. Now, this will hit you as a huge surprise. This one is in your sign, my dear Scorpios, in your first house. Those of you who are born 13th of November, plus or minus 5 days, you will be affected the most by this full moon because it's hitting your 22nd degree. So if you have any placements, you will feel this full moon the most too. Now, full moon will have opposition from Uranus, planet of surprises and shocking news. Now, this is not easy aspect to deal with, so it almost always manifests in the relationship. So Uranus is already situated in your relationship marriage house, and full moon is in your first house. So all of a sudden you might decide, or your partner might decide, to get divorced, for example, to separate or take time out. you know Whatever will be happening, one thing to remember around this full moon, that I call this full moon something abruptly finishing, like suddenly finishing, but in the long run this will be beneficial to you. So it might not seem at the moment, of the event that will be happening around May 12th, uh very good event or like positive one. In general, we are very resistant, to changes, but universe has your back, my dear Scorpios. In the long run, you will see that that was the right thing that happened actually. Maybe at the moment you might not like it, but in after some time you will reassess it, and you will say that thank God that everything turned out that way. Now, this will have a surprising moment. Now, some of you guys, it might be about marriage or it might be about business. It can be also that your company, for example, all of a sudden announces that they are laying off some um, huge amount of stuff, for example, and you are one of them, or they are going bankrupt and you are losing your job as an example, or you're losing some business opportunity, some business deal is getting broken here. Or maybe it could be also related to real estate matter. For example, you've been trying to buy the house already for a few months, and you've been negotiating, and there were like paperwork going on, and all of a sudden they say that they're not selling, for example, or that they sold it to someone else, or there is some other issue with the paperwork. So it could be related to that. Maybe it's about your real estate agent. Maybe she's going to say that she's not working anymore as a real estate agent, and she's going to, you know, share all the data to another her colleague to handle your case, for example. Now these are all examples. So some things, like in terms of relationship with other people, is coming to light here, and something which is very shocking. Now Pluto, your ruler, plus its ruler of full moon, which is located in your house of family, will be in argument with Mercury, also in your house of marriage. So you see, seems like there will be huge disagreement between someone like from your family. Maybe it's your mother who will be in disagreement with your wife or husband, or your sweetheart, or it could be some other family member like your siblings or your father. So it seems like, or maybe if it's not like argument between them, like disagreement, let's say, it might be that your sweetheart won't be liking, let's say, the place that you're trying to buy or sell, for example. They will be resistant of that deal. It might be that they are not happy with the choices that you made in terms of real estate, or maybe renovation. Like, let's say you are making renovation at the house, but your sweetheart not liking it, for example. These are all as an example, my dear Scorpios. Now, anyhow, we will have big support from North Node and Saturn in your fifth house. So universe is supporting you making trine, North Node is a destiny node, and Saturn is in your fifth house. Whatever will be happening, it seems like at the end of the day, you will be happy with the results. So let the tension go. Let a few days pass, of the situation. Don't heat up immediately. You will see how everything will turn out. Everything will be much better in few days following this full moon. So Saturn will bring joy because it's trining that full moon and trying to negotiate with Uranus, trying to make it milder, the shocking play shocking effect of this news. And fifth house is also your kids. It might be that you will be finding much happiness with your kids, as an example. Or it might be that there is a third person, like a new love. For example, you are getting divorced, but at the same time you're happy that you are starting a new chapter with a new person there because you fall in love, for example. This could be, one of you guys' situations. Now, May 25th, another big thing going on, Saturn moving into your house of work and health until September 1st. Now, until like whole summer, Saturn will be giving you hints of what it's going to bring in the next 3 years while it will be transiting your sixth house. Then after September, on September 1st, it will retrograde, it will go backwards into your fifth house. But then on Valentine's Day 2026, it will be back into your sixth house for a good 3 years. So whole summer, it will give you preview. Try to notice things. Now, Saturn, I call this planet a strict teacher of the universe. It's about hard work. It's about restrictions and responsibilities. Now, Saturn takes 29 years to come back to the same part of your chart. So it hasn't, it's been 29 years Saturn was in your sixth house, my dear Scorpios. Here, Saturn might give quite a lot of assignments, quite a lot of long hours of work. A lot of you guys might go into motion of workaholism, like workaholic, motion, because sixth house is all about, responsibility. It seems like you are getting quite a lot of responsibilities. It might be promotions or some appointments or some new job offer, which will have a lot of also responsibility and reputation, and plus long hours of work, and it might continue for the next 3 years. Now, Saturn, it comes to some part of our life and checks in if we've done our homework. So it all depends on your natal chart and your life path, what you've been doing for the past 29 years in that area of your chart, and in your case, it's your work. If you've been working hard and trying to achieve some position or some things, some achievements, Saturn will grant you that. And if you've not been so much attentive, let's say, to your work and in general, maybe you are lost, you've been lost, let's say, of what to do daily, then Saturn might all of a sudden, or for example, if you're not satisfied with your work, then Saturn will destroy that structure so that you will rebuild something new. Saturn is about remolding, rebuilding. It's about the construction. And, if there are things shaky, if they are not on a solid basis, Saturn loves solid things, then they all will get destroyed. Those of you who are not happy at your work, who are always complaining, let's say, or you're not happy with what you're doing, for example. In general, sixth house is about health and well-being and routine. You're not happy how your days are passing by, for example. All these things get destroyed. Then Saturn might bring some changes there, quite drastic changes. Plus, Saturn rules your contractual house. Now, a lot of you guys might sign some contract for a new job offer or new sort of lifestyle that will change your routine. And in terms of health, Saturn here, will make you to, pay attention a lot to your well-being. Saturn is about bones, and while it's transiting sixth house, it might give some issues with your bones or back pain, so it might be related. Also teeth, also those things are might need some checkups, my dear Scorpios. You might go quite a lot during this period, during this Saturn's transit in your sixth house, to those kind of doctors and specialists. Now, also, and what else? What else? And sixth house in general, it's about hardships and debts, So here, not advisable to take any loan or to borrow money, because seems like it will be long time before you're gonna see them back, or it will be for you to very hard to give it back, the money that you're gonna take to borrow. Now, May 27th, we have amazing positive new moon in your financial house, 8th house. Those of you who are born 28th of October, plus or minus 5 days, you will be feeling this new moon the most. Now, it's in your financial house, and Pluto is in your house of family, that will send amazing trine, beautiful aspect to that new moon. It's your ruler. Now, new moon will conjunct Mercury, also ruler of the new moon, and Mercury will receive another support from Saturn and Neptune. Those two planets, they are newly in your house of work and house of health. Seems like there is a new beginning starting for you, especially maybe your wife or your husband or your sweetheart might find a new job, for example, or they might find some new source of income, as an example. Or if you've been trying to buy a real estate, you will find perfect option here by the end of May, and you might seal the deal actually. For some of you guys, it might be related to health, someone else's health at your home, in your home, for example. Maybe it most probably it's your mother or any other family member. You will hear positive and amazing news related to their health. And also it could be related to business. You might start a business around end of May, or you might have such an opportunity to start a business with someone from your family too. In general, there is a relocation topic as well here. Some of you guys might relocate somewhere else to a different country, like change a place of living, as an example. In general, this new moon will be amazing one, so whatever is on your mind, put into motion around this new moon, end of May. And it's about your finances. Now, you might hear that someone's pregnant in your family too, or that your investments are much getting better, for example. Now, recently investments are not so well, but by the end of May, they should be getting much better. Inheritance is here. You might receive an inheritance and it seems like it could be a piece of land or a property. Now, as I said, it's eighth house is about conception, and pregnancy news could be going on here. Someone in your family might announce that they are expecting a new family member, my dear Scorpios. Always check your rising sign and moon sign, because they all play out in different parts of our lives. And stay positive in May. Love you all. Bye bye.